Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norabatul Sahiramati Zamri, and now I want to explain about introduction of autocracy. What is autocracy? Autocracy is a system of a government in which one person or powerful individual called autocrat who holds all the political, economic, social and military power. Usually, in an autocracy, all power is concentrated in a single center, be it an individual dictator or a group such as a dominant political party or central committee. Next is, usually the rule of the autocrat is absolute and cannot be regulated by the external legal restraint or democratic method of control. The rule is also unlimited and not subject to any legislative limitation. This is because all the decision is made by the autocrat that are the one who have all the power towards the decision. Next, I want to explain about the characteristic of autocracy. The first characteristic of autocracy is allow a little or no input from group members. This is because they aim to have and keep all the power for themselves only. All the decision made is consideration by their ideas and judgment and not involve or accept any advice from the followers. The second characteristic of autocracy is they get the power by using force. The autocratic power center use force to suppress opposition, to prevent social movement, and to ensure the citizens follow all decisions that they already set out. There are 5 types of autocracy, and the first one is authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is the form of government that uses a strong central power and using the enforcement of strict obedience to authority at the expense of personal freedom. This type of autocracy is lack of concern for the wishes or opinion of others. Second type is absolute monarchy. This type of autocracy is consists a rule by a king or queen as a head of the state that hold the power to make any law without being questioned by anyone else. One of the country that practice using this type of autocracy is Brunei Darussalam. The third type of autocracy is military rule. A military dictatorship that control over political authority and have the legal system applying to members of the armed force. Military rule also where military authority take over a normal administration of law, and the ideology of government as best served when under military control. More, totalitarian also one of the type of autocracy. Totalitarian is a form of government that prohibits opposing political parties and ideology while controlling all aspects of the public and private life of the people. Under a totalitarian regime, all citizens are subject to the absolute authority of the state. And last but not least is oligarchy. Oligarchy is a small or elite group of people who have an authority to control the country.
North Korea is a democratic People's Republic that has multi-party under the leadership of Workers' Party of Korea that leads Democratic Front. Under WPK, there is 2 parties, which is Korean Social Democratic Party and Chondois Chongu Party. These 3 parties are the main political parties in North Korea. All activities from Democratic People's Republic of Korea must be under the leadership of WPK according to the country's constitution. The highest authority for WPK is the Party Congress, which led by central committees. The role of the WPK is to compile a list of approved candidates, and all political activities are directed by them or require their permission first and must follow party policies and guidelines. WPK's powers has deteriorated when Kim Jong-il emphasized the importance of soldiers from the WPK in late 1990s, but WPK still continued to hold the authority over the public organizations such as youth, workers, and farmers, although they are not in a full control of economic activities in the countries. Next, Chondoist Jonggu Party is a party the third important party in North Korea. They are representing the native Korean religion of Chondoism. Chondoism is a religion that was found in 19th century of Korea. As of the most recent political decision in 2019, three gatherings, the WDPK, Korean Social Democratic Party, and Chondoist Jonggu Party, are addressed in the Supreme People's Assembly, the country's unicameral parliament. North Korea also has opposition parties. One of them is Free Joseon. It was known by citizens as a party that gives protection to Kim Han-so. Who is Kim Han-so? Kim Han-so is the son of Kim Jong-nam, who is the older brother of Kim Jong-un. This assassination was known and believed that Kim Jong-un who gave the order to murder him, which is why the party need to protect his son. Free Joseon also supported North Korean citizens who wants to leave North Korea. Next is the North Korea Freedom Coalition (NKFC). It is an organization that was established for freedom and human rights in North Korea. NKFC supported North Korea's Sanctions Enforcement Act of 2013 that will increase the sanction towards the abuse of human rights violation by imposing a financial sanctions on North Korea leaders. Besides, Fighters for a Free North Korea (FFNK) is a party that is known for launching balloons regularly that carry human rights and pro-democracy literature, DVDs, small portable video, and USB flash drive from South Korea into North Korea. These things are sent to make North Korean knows about the world outside North Korea. However, on December 2020, South Korea's National Assembly created a law that they will punish whoever who sends materials that related to anti-North Korea across the border.
After the end of the Japan-Korea War around 1944, Korea was divided into two countries, North Korea and South Korea. This country was ruled by two different powers, the Soviet Union and the United States. On October 14, 1944, the Soviet Union introduced Kim Il-sung, one of the people who was active in opposing Japan and trying to liberate Korea from the Japanese occupation. Kim Il-sung was the first Prime Minister of North Korea, or known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, which was established on September 9, 1948. Government in North Korea is divided into three branches: executive, legislature, and judiciary, but they are not dependent on each other. First is executive branch. This executive power is under the cabinet and under the leadership of the President North Korea. The Central People's Committee and the State Administrative Council are two cabinet organizations. The second branch is the legislature. In this legislation, there is a Congress, which is Supreme People's Assembly. Every 5 years, there will be elections for the Supreme People's Assembly, or SPA. The SPA is usually attended by a member of the Workers' Party Korea. The Constitution only allowing one party, the Workers' Party Korea. This party re-established by Kim Il-sung during his reign. Citizens aged 17 and above are eligible to be elected to the legislature, and they also have the right to vote in elections. The names of the selected candidates can only be included on the ballot paper when agreed by the community. The last branch is judiciary. The judiciary in North Korea conducts secret trials and does not respect human rights. The DPRK adopts a three-tier judicial system. First, the Central Court, Provincial Courts, and last, the People's Court. The Central Court is the highest court in the DPRK, and the decision made is a permanent decision and cannot be appealed. The court is headed by a Chief Justice, 2 executive judges, and several other judges.
I would like to express my point regarding press in North Korea. Most of people might already know that all of movements in variety of form in North Korea are fully being controlled by their government. It is also accurate when it comes to North Korean media, which are being strictly monitored by their totalitarian governments, its leader Kim Jong-un, and regional events in order to compare with other global media outlets. Then, most of media content in North Korea focus on coverage of nuclear developments, human rights issues, and neighboring state relations from the North Korea's perspective. North Korea government had imposed a singular worldview on their citizens without allowing them any exposure to other views and opinions. For example, they will block any sources of international information and put a consistent dam of brutal attack and threat from the certain country, such as United States. This is because they intentionally want to jam endless support and encouragement from their citizens to the regime against United States. This is also one of their strategies to manipulate their citizens and also confuse international audience as the news strategically released through the domestic population. For example, government in North Korea also continuously publish the news about the greatness and history of family leader Kim Jong-un. So, this manipulation made by North Korean media indirectly made their citizens believe with all propaganda were designed.
The conclusion, autocratic is a form or a system of government that all matter related to politics, economic, military and social is fully controlled by the supreme leader, which is in North Korea, the person who has the authority is Kim Jong-un. All the citizen matter or decision is fully made by the supreme leader, which is Kim Jong-un, and the people fate of how their living is in this type of autocracy are fully based on how the supreme leader wants. The way they control the country is also determined by them, whether it's mean the way they use are cruel, but as a people they have no right to speak but can only follow the prescribed order, because this type of government will not accept or hear any opinion or input of other people.